All right, if it closes this way for the Dow, it would be the 100th record close for the Dow since Donald Trump was first elected. Our Charlie Brady, who follows all these things, the guy's a genius, like Scary Snat. Anyway, I don't know how he added it all up, but it is 100. And obviously the Trump folks are taking a bow for that. The president has reminded people this is his rally. Everything else, of course, Barack Obama has been making the campaign stumping cause, saying, we had a lot to do with this, too. Hello. So you'd go to university campuses, especially Michigan State University, and you'd raise it with kids, and you would assume, well, that maybe the Democrat would get the edge. Maybe not. Take a look.
President Obama gave a speech this week in Illinois talking about how it's wrong for Trump to take credit for how well the economy is doing because it's still his economy. What are your thoughts on that comment?
He's been out for long enough now that it's not on him anymore. It's more on Donald Trump, so I guess he's a little bit in the wrong.
I would probably, unfortunately, side with Trump for this one. I think that he has done a lot for the economy that Obama didn't do such a good job on, but yeah, so I guess I'll side with Trump on that one.
I feel like once a president's done, they hand it off.
I feel like all presidents do this. They'll sort of take credit for something that's happening down the line.
I think the underlying fundamentals are likely still largely Obama, but in terms of confidence and changing people's attitudes, I would say that's mostly Trump.
His tweets and stuff I find very offensive because I'm a girl, and a lot of them are against us. So,
Got it.
But economically, I feel like he's really helping us.
I think when you're in the role as president of the United States, you're supposed to bring people together, not polarize them. But overall, yeah, he does definitely make some good deals.
That is remarkable. Even more so because Cabot Phillips, the guy who was doing all of this, was able to talk to them with all that music, which is so weird. Anyway, Campus Reform Media Director Cabot Phillips. Cabot, I was amazed at that. What did you think?
It was interesting. I think the left really has run the risk of being the party that cried wolf. They have consistently said if President Trump gets power, it's going to be Armageddon, the economy is going to collapse, millions of people will die. And I think a lot of young people hunker down expecting that to happen. And they're poking their heads up out of their war bunkers, and they're seeing an economy that's thriving, and they're realizing, hey, there's never been a better time in our economy to be a 20-something entering the workforce. And so I think a lot of young people are seeing that the rhetoric that they're hearing in college campuses and seeing on TV is not matching the results of the economy. And so I do think that a lot of people are able to separate what's going on in the economy. And again, not saying that all these students here love President Trump as a person or as a president, but a lot of them were giving credit saying, yeah, he's handled the economy. If I'm not giving credit on anything else, the economy has been something that's thriving.
It's interesting because it shows up in polls of average voters, possible voters of all ages, right? I mean, where personally they don't flip over the president for a variety of reasons. That young woman is telling you about the tweeting and his comments on women, I guess. But they separate what's going on with the economy, I guess, by extension the markets, and they say, well, have to give him his due.
And I think it's important to remember who's in college right now. It's not millennials. It's actually Generation Z, the generation after millennials. And this is a group of people that grew up in an age of economic uncertainty with President Obama as president, and they're now coming of age as adults and seeing a thriving economy with President Trump at the helm. So I do think economic certainty and that is a big factor for them. It remains to be seen now. What will that do when it actually comes to voting? How many Americans are actually, with the upcoming midterms, are going to say, you know what? I may say I disapprove of President Trump's job, but I don't really want to fiddle too much with the economy. Things are going pretty well. I'm willing to put up with a lot more. I think that's going to be the case for a lot of people, especially younger Americans who are about to enter the workforce.
You could be right. But what's remarkable there, and I know it was just a smattering of folks you talked to there, but they were very discerning. In other words, not wildly siding with one president or the other, one party or the other, enough to step back and say, all right, I can see what's going on now and see some of the problems with this president right now, but I can also see what's happening right beneath me right now, and I like it. Now, to your point, did you get a sense from them that the young are notoriously not inclined to show up even during presidential elections, let alone midterms? So what is the likely read from this?
I don't think that there's going to be a sudden wave as much as people are thinking as far as young people going to the polls. Like you said, it's hard enough to get people to go out for presidential elections, especially getting young people for midterm elections. I don't think that's going to happen as much as maybe the left is hoping it will. I think this also serves as a message, though, to Republicans on the issues that are winning young people over. I think a lot of people in the millennial and Generation Z generations are more fiscally conservative than they may know. But when they consistently are hearing these socialist ideas in college classes, I think that they are convinced that they have to be leftist when it comes to the economics. But I do think that a lot of young people could be won over, and I've seen it happen, can be won over when they're presented with fiscally conservative ideas. There's just kind of a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to the Republican Party.
Yeah. Cabot, I also like the way you handle the questions with them. You just keep yourself out of it. You're curious. You listen to it, and one by one, they spill their guts to you. So touche to that.
You'll have to come out on campus with me sometime, Neil.
Yeah, it's been like 100 years since I've been on a college campus. Cabot Phillips, thank you very much, my friend.